happening from next month.
November. So by then, we'll be able to fly to Paris before Perth and Barcelona before Brisbane. It is ridiculous. Dr. Katie Allen is one of several Liberal MPs who campaigned for the change. She joins me now from Melbourne. Thanks for your time, Katie.
Good evening, Chris.
So is this international border plan announced by the Prime Minister today early enough?
Look, I think we've all been waiting for an awfully long time for this. So once we've got to that 80% double jab, then it's time to open up. We've had this coming at us the last few months. This is the national plan. All the state premiers and territory leaders have signed up to this plan, and it's just time that we enact the plan that we've all agreed to. Last year was a terrible year. All we had was lockdowns. Now we've got vaccination. The rest of the world is opening up. It's time to get Australians home for Christmas, and I can tell you people in Higgins are so pleased. You know, this is the light at the end of the tunnel. People have gone out and got their jab. They've got their double jab, and it's time for them to get the freedoms that they require to be able to get on with life.
From October 15 on another part of COVID, all Victorian workers on the authorised workers list will be required to have their first jab by October the 15th, then fully vaccinated by November the 26th. Your reaction to that announcement from Dan Andrews today?
Well, quite amazed. I'm surprised. Our federal government has from the start said this vaccine rollout, the COVID vaccine rollout, will be voluntary, it'll be free, and we'll make sure that we'll have a honest conversation with the Australian public about what any side effects that there might be so that they can make the decision that is right for them. Now, with that positive approach to believing and trusting the Australian people to understand the benefits for them, the benefits for their families, indeed the benefits for their country, we can see those double jab rates are really going very rapidly high now that we've got a good supply of the vaccine with Pfizer and AstraZeneca, Moderna, and soon to be Novavax. So the Australian people have enthusiastically got behind this. They know that this is the way to put lockdowns behind them. This is the way to open up international borders and to get us back connected with the world. So, to have this sort of mandatory vaccination by stealth, if you look at the list, it's exhaustive and exhausting to look at the length of list. It is mandatory vaccination by stealth. Now, I've already said from the very get-go, and this is in January this year, that there are some circumstances that it's incredibly important for the safety, not just of the workers themselves, but those that they are caring for. And that includes aged care and hotel quarantining and even healthcare. But to go beyond that, I think you have to have a very good reason. So I am surprised by this very, very long list, exhaustive list of mandatory vaccination requirements. And I'm not sure that the Australian public has had the conversation about this. We are going to get to 80% here in Victoria by mid-November. We know that the states are stepping up. People in every state and every territory stepping up to get the double jab. So why not trust the Australian people to do the right thing?
And Katie, it could backfire too, because we've got a situation where not just frontline workers are being told to get the jab, and I understand why frontline workers would be told they must get the jab, but to make it mandatory for just authorised workers, they could turn against him again on this.
Well, basically, it's extremely, it's completely extensive. So it's almost mandatory vaccination by stealth. I looked at the list and I found it hard to find anyone, who wasn't on the list. It's basically anyone who's authorised to work, but it's any service delivery person, basically. So any service that's being provided to the public basically needs to get a mandatory jab. Now, look, I have to say, as a paediatrician, I've worked with people who have been vaccine hesitant or anti-vaxxers themselves. What you need to realise is the vast majority of people want to do the right thing, and you can see that by our numbers rising very quickly.
Yep.
There's always been a very small group of people who do not believe in vaccination, and then there is also another group of people who cannot be vaccinated. I believe that we need to provide opportunities for people to get vaccinated, and then we need to provide an opportunity for those who are not vaccinated to make sure that they keep others safe when they're going to public environments. So that would mean providing a recent rapid test or evidence of a recent rapid test so they can participate in society, because there will be always somebody who can't or won't get vaccinated, and we need to make provisions for those people. What we're doing potentially is we're going to drive all sorts of issues with regards to rostering. When you look at the long list, I stopped counting after 3 pages. There's a long list of workers who now need to have a mandatory jab in a very short period of time. So this may actually unexpectedly put quite a lot of pressure onto all sorts of rostering for different businesses. Now, businesses are already facing huge pressures economically because of the rolling lockdowns. We're now, I think, at day 56 for the 7-day lockdown here in Victoria. Yes, I understand that it's been necessary to contain the Delta outbreak, but as we get the double jab and we're rolling this out at very high rates, then we know that the Australian people aren't expecting this mandatory vaccination by stealth.
Yep. I thank you for your time, Katie. Appreciate that.
Thanks so much.